Christian, welcome. You served for 24 years.
Yes, in the U.S. Navy.
Yeah. How did Fashion for Fighters come about?
What we found was after 9/11 in Washington, D.C., that we were not doing a good job taking care of our wounded, ill, and injured. And what the normal medical response was inadequate. There's a lot of non-medical support and non-profit support that the troops really need. So what we found was that the biggest support that the service member has as they transition out of the service with a wound or an injury was their spouses. And those spouses were the mechanism that kept them sane and moved them forward in life. And we found that fashion was a good way to have them participate. So 5 years ago, we created Fashion for Fighters in Washington, D.C. with the goal of providing it to all our security partners and wounded care. We now have this event here in Kenya, and we also have one scheduled for the Philippines.
Why did you decide to come to Kenya, Christian?
I own an engineering firm, and we have offices kind of all around the world. You know what was interesting is we were going to do this anyway, but the KDF reached out to us, and they're very interested in this, and they really took us under their wing, and they're really looking at a lot of things that we're doing with this. Kenya is our security partner. We help you in a lot of different ways, but I think a new way that we could really help you guys is how to take care of wounded, ill, and injured.
Yeah. It's the Fashion for Shujaa event. What's going to happen?
So what we'll do is we'll talk about wounded care, wounded delivery, how do we handle it in the U.S., and then how the nonprofit was stood up here in Kenya. We'll have a lot of senior people from your government that'll be there, and then we'll have different events at the fashion lineups and dance troops, and we'll have other people delivering different items and care. You know, just all different things going on, and we'll gather the money on that, and then that will be delivered. I think we're working with ACTS this year here, but we can give the money directly to anyone that wants it in the KDF.
Yeah.
Usually, in the way we handle it in the U.S. is we have a nonprofit that does the fundraising, and then nonprofits that do the care delivery. Here, we've separated the two, but I think we might end up putting them together just so that the most money goes to the service member that's the most in need. If you look at our history in the U.S., we weren't very good at medical delivery because we didn't understand all the problems. PTSD and traumatic brain injury are very unusual things that we didn't really understand until today. But then the non-medical, people who are ambulatory or amputees, they can't fill out the paperwork. They can't take care of the things they need to do, which increases their stress. So we've done that. But then in the end, the nonprofit takes care of the things that the government can't. The family members, if you have a service member that's passing away, in the U.S. we take care of their transportation. We put them up so that they can see their service members before they pass. And the fact that Kenya is very interested in this, I'm honored to help and be involved in this.
You served for 24 years.
I did.
What was your most traumatizing experience?
Well, we are engineers, so we support all the combat forces doing different things around the globe. Since I'm an engineer in the Navy, we weren't aboard ship much. We were deployed with the SEALs and special op guys, and usually they have like remote places around the globe that they worked. So those guys really took the brunt of it compared to the engineers. Usually they don't go after the engineers because we're fixing things. So they help us. Yes. Yeah. They wait till we're done before they attack. So I watched everyone else, and I realized it's quite a trauma for the situations that we were going through. And I think it's great that Kenya is really taking it. Your KDF is really taking an interest in the troops and their welfare after they leave the service. It's a big change here.
Sure.